Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to this short update, a very late update for Blunt Force Healing Podcast, episode number 895, if I'm correct. And that basically means that this is consecutive day 895 of daily journaling and sharing my updates, both in the blog format as well as this video podcast. So, just to cut it short, because there's not much to update you on this Friday. The title is Fresh Fish, and that was a desperate extract of today because we didn't do much except for the usual walk, and we are expecting obviously to deploy our sauna as usual on a Friday evening. But I wanted to mention one thing that is very characteristical for our area, Donegal. Not so far from us, about 20 miles or about 32 kilometers from Donegal town, there is a town called Killybegs, and it's a big port down there that serves a lot of fishing vessels as well as even passenger vessels. And why I mention it is because this means that we have access to a proper fresh fish in the area. And there is one guy, Seamus, that has a fresh fish van from, he brings the stuff from Killybegs to Donegal town on Fridays. And why on Fridays? Probably because of a big influence of Catholic Church over the history of Ireland, because we observe similar thing back in Poland, where Catholicism was a prevalent and still is prevalent kind of religion. I think it came from the Easter and Good Friday, where there was a fasting or avoidance of meat in general, and it kind of transpired into every Friday of the week where people were steering away from meat and either eating fish or just not eating any animal derived food for that particular day. And it kind of stayed like that for decades, and it's still a habit for people to eat fish on Fridays because they are not considered meat. And so Seamus, the guy from Killybegs, is bringing fresh fish always on Fridays here, because it's when the biggest demand is for fresh fish. And they are really, what by fresh I mean, they are literally fresh. If they could, they would be still alive. And you can kind of recognize the freshness of them, because when you buy them, they don't stink like fish, typical fish that you buy from anywhere else. You can smell the ocean and the freshness of that, of their flesh. Obviously, there is a slight scent of the fish because they are fish, but it's not the typical thing that you would smell. It's a pleasant ocean smell, and they stay like that even for 2 days if you keep them in the fridge. And I mean not the freezer, the actual fridge. So we tend to buy them on Fridays to either eat them on Fridays or kind of have a quick and healthy meal for some days of the weekend when we operate sauna and we have no time to do the proper dinners. So this episode is about fresh fish. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Stay tuned and see you again tomorrow.